One thing we can for sure agree on about the internet is that it is really fast. There is a news scandal every week, whether it's leaked documents, war crimes, political drama, celebrity drama, and the list goes on literally forever. And after so many years of me being online, I have gotten used to this pace. I keep up with the rhythm, I even engage with it. And I am sure you do too. This constant overload of information can leave us exhausted, tired, and even hopeless because 9 times out of 10 this information is not positive. But we still click, we engage with it as I have said, and this only leads to frustration and we feel angry. Anger because we feel that nothing we do actually does something for the world. We protest, we boycott, we sign petitions, we post, we argue in comment sections, and yet these issues seem to go untouched. Sometimes it even feels like it only gets worse. So all we feel at the end is frustration, a low-level resentful rage that sits under everything we consume, because we're constantly being shown injustice without being given any realistic sense of agency over it. But we stay online nonetheless, and this is exactly the goal. There's profit over this because while we're scrolling to get more and more information, since we can't do anything about it, there's ads, there's sponsorships, there's everything everywhere all the fucking time. And this has become the new business model. We even have a word for it, and it was nominated the word or expression of 2025. It is rage bait, and this is what we're going to discuss today. The markets love rage bait. It drives clicks, attention, views, and most importantly, data. Being angry at the system is no longer a symptom of a corrupted structure, but a profitable strategy. A strategy that a lot of people have caught on, not only companies, but also content creators. They create these personalities and have outrageous takes that only drive us mad. And it doesn't help when you get constantly fed these personalities on your phone or on TV, and you think, how can they hear the same things as I do on the news and still have such abhorrent takes? And you know exactly what I'm talking about and what I mean. If you know, you know. But these people abuse our resentment and exploit it for their own personal profit. And why? Because it works. Online contact sometimes feels closer than real life because it is hard to contact like a minister or an ambassador and ask for real change. But it is easy to rage on a comment section, debating topics that honestly don't add anything of real value to the discussion. But these creators tend to raise in fame and they don't care for which reasons they did, because they are making bank. And the companies who own these platforms also love it. Even news corporations adhere to this, often prioritizing clickbaity headlines that immediately grab your attention, even if misleading, instead of focusing on honest journalism. And here is the problem. Being constantly exposed to outrage doesn't make you more rebellious or revolutionary. Rather the opposite, you just become more familiar with it and it doesn't affect you as much anymore. You become immune to it and its political effect quietly disappears. The saturation of information and misinformation at our disposal puts us in a place where we can't feel shocked by anything anymore. Additionally, the fact that we constantly watch conflicts and hear about drama all the time online makes catastrophe sound casual to us. At one point, we can even start expecting it. Corruption, rigged elections, physical violence, abuse of power, damn, even pedophiles running governments. I mean, what the hell? Like, why is no one mad about it? I don't know, but that's a whole nother topic. But this is dangerous. We really shouldn't let this become the norm, our everyday life. But it is unfortunately what we currently have, and honestly, I don't see it going away very soon unless some real action is put into place. So what we do? We cope. People feel such cognitive dissonance that they start adapting it to online culture, and what screams online culture memes. We memify these horrifying situations, like for example, Maduro's capture by the US. If I see one more meme about Maduro's capture, I am going to go insane because that was crazy. I could do a whole video talking about it, but let's just say that it was not very democratic. It sounds a bit like breaking international law, and I hope nothing like that ever happens again, and I also hope some action is taken into it, because what do you mean you can just fly to another country, take their president, and go away? And then say some bullshitty thing about, oh, it's for drugs. you don't care about drugs. But yeah, that's another topic for another video. But like memes about Maduro, please. And even the White House did it. So you can see that this is the point and this is their goal. Like, what you mean fuck around and find out? This is supposed to be like a diplomatic account, a serious account that lets you know of like real information and even leave on social media some diplomatic messages, I guess. But no, they made memes and even AI generated pictures of Donald Trump. The White House account is just full on tweaking. It's scary because like are these the people that are making the decisions that impact our daily life? And I'm not from the US, but like it does still impact me because the US, I mean, is like one of the biggest powers in the world, you know, like it does infect the whole world. And I don't like to see people playing with it, you know. I think that's reasonable. But it makes sense to make memes about this. They want people to feel included and to feel like this was like a country's operation. We are all in this. We are taking down the opposition together. And having people joking about it is much better than having people criticizing it. Irony becomes a shield for our mental health and for their business models and political strategies. Nonetheless, the same systems that turn crises into content don't stop at jokes. They also repackage dissent and activism. Hashtags start trending, statements get posted, stories get shared, bios get updated. Sometimes these gestures generally come from care. Sometimes they help spread informations. Sometimes they bring visibility that would otherwise be ignored, teach others online about what is happening in the world, and spread awareness. That does put some pressure in the situation. That's a positive thing to do, but it is not enough. The problem is we have been led to believe that social media is powerful and we all have a platform. But in reality, it doesn't really work that way. It doesn't matter as much as you think it does. Stories end after 24 hours, trends die out, life moves on, and the ones in power keep doing whatever they wish. And now I'm gonna say it, most activism online is performative. Wow, the sky is blue. We all know this. And yeah, it is performative because it is more like an outlet to feel politically involved without actually being able to intervene. It gives us relief. We build up all this tension from literally being rage baited, and we feel like posting a story, spreading some awareness feels nice. It feels nice. I'm being like, yeah, like I'm doing something, guys. But overall, it is superficial because the structures behind the crisis remain untouched. So it leads to the question, what can we do to combat these neoliberal capitalist business structures that are fully enraging us and do not care about our mental health and well-being, honestly, and just the world we live in. As I have said before, even if we move away from this, you can't delete social media. It will still be there. It will still be happening. Other people will be seeing it. So I am not gonna tell you delete social media, don't engage with it, get away from it, because let's be honest, that's kind of impossible. I mean, you will keep using social media. You want to keep in contact with your friends and family. You want to follow some celebrities you enjoy. You want to keep up to date. I'm not gonna tell you that disengaging is the answer, but I will give you some tips on how to curate your social media a bit better so you're not constantly being rage baited by these things. I will say first thing is reduce your consumption of short form content. If you're scrolling, even if you follow decent pages, you still get stuff that is being pushed by other reasons and you still get people that you don't follow. I mean, that's obvious. So I will say just cut down a little bit your consumption. I'm not saying cut it fully, but I'm saying like instead of spending 4 hours scrolling on TikTok, maybe spend like 1 or 2. Don't follow viral accounts. Don't just follow meme accounts. Don't rely on getting information from meme accounts or people who are clearly just trying to make clickbaity videos. People who are using information against you by opening with clickbaity statements or images that are there just to shock you. The solution here is to go for boring institutions, to go for things you can trust, things that are reliable and confirmed. Being online, let's be real, we will always get misinformation, but the less you try to get it, the better it is. Also, I think it's needless to say, don't trust everything you see. Always fact check, and if you see something that really seems believable but you're not sure you believe it, Google it, look up, get off social media, go Google it, look up news pages, news websites that you trust, news sources, look up different news sources, read what they say, and what is different from each other, what is common, and do your deliberation after that. Also, follow and support journalists who do long investigations rather than hot takes. Sometimes following journalists themselves rather than big news corporations, media corporations, is better because the content might be more raw, might be more honest. Another advice I have is joining unions, civic groups, local organizations and associations, things that you identify with or like with values that align with yours. Not only will you get out of the online space and join a physical one where you can make long-term friendships and meet new people, places where conflict doesn't vanish after 24 hours, and that have a bit more agency and prove real action in the physical world, you know? Also, volunteering is a very good option if you have the possibility to do that. I think, needless to say, vote, keep your voice active, and go there and write down what you want for your country. Basically, try to read more serious stuff instead of just getting information from meme pages. I hope no one does that, but if someone does, stop. Like, stop. Even if you really like the meme page, it should not be a primary source, guys. Like, it should not be a primary source. I know a lot of people who learn about news because they see some joke about it, and if your first impression of something that is happening is just straight away a joke, then your brain thinks that, oh, it's funny. It's not funny. The Epstein files are not funny. I'm laughing about it because, yeah, I'm also coping with it. There's terrible stuff there. I think lastly, I will tell you that if you ever feel like the rage bait you're getting is too much and it starts impacting your mental health, I think it's very important to let you know that you should step away from social media for a little bit if that's what's happening, because it's not going to get better soon. I am serious when I say this. I'm not happy to announce this, but I am being very honest with you. It will keep on going, and it is important to know how you feel about this. And if you feel like it's being too much, put the phone down, put your laptop down, turn off the TV, go on a walk, talk to your friends, and yeah. This is how we're going to deal with stuff from now on. I hope you took something from this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, perhaps subscribe, you know. More stuff will be coming. I know I stopped for a little bit. I had exam season and that drained me. I could not focus on YouTube for a little bit, but now I am so back, guys. There will be weekly videos from now on, and perhaps even more, you know? And that was it. I hope you have a lovely week, and I will see you next time. Bye!